his sons, having played sport at a local level in Leeds, Andy and Fast Signs have a long history of helping local sports clubs and organisations like Kippax Welfare Rugby League, Garforth Rangers Football Club and North Leeds Cricket Club with products such as events banners, honours boards and changing room signage, as well as providing signs and graphics to the mighty Leeds Rhinos and Leeds United for over the last 30 years. So if you're involved in a local sports club, get in touch with Andy and his team for advice and help with your signs. I'm sure he'll do you a great deal if you mention the Lot Pod. Hi everybody, welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17-8 podcast, kindly sponsored by Fast Signs, Match Review, Panel Time, Eddie, producer Chris and Duncan, all here for this review. We do have some work going on at other parts, other sections of this studio, of this warehouse. If you do hear any bangs or any farts or any crude jokes as they work away, then we do apologise, but we are going to crack on regardless. Duncan, how are you, my friend?
Very well. Very well.
Christopher?
Yeah, good.
How are you?
All good. All good.
Let's delve straight into the game. So we're going to review the game. We're going to hand out our Matt Frawley Fast Size Player of the Match. We have a big announcement to make too. And we're going to talk Magic Weekend as a whole, and we're also going to discuss Luke Keary's recent comments. So another bumper podcast on the way. We'll dive straight in. Match review, panel time. St Helens 4, Leeds Rhinos 17. What positives can the Rhinos take from this excellent performance?
Quite a lot.
Producer Chris.
Quite a lot. But one thing that I liked is they obviously went out with a plan to attack them, didn't they?
Yeah.
And it worked. I wish we'd have scored a few more points, but it didn't really bother me that because you could see the clear game plan. And as attack has been off, and I don't mind them attacking and making mistakes, but they didn't make that many. Got to remember Saints are a good defensive side as well, but we just tore them apart. I think Riley Lum should have scored 2 more, maybe. 3 more he could have got, really.
Could have had a ball.
But he's a young kid, isn't he? So, we'll forgive him that. But yeah, it was... they just came out with clear intent. And the defence. The defence were excellent. They were lucky to score 4. So yeah, all good.
Duncan, positives from yourself from this one?
Pack.
Again?
As a whole, love it. Defensively, like Chris said, we were outstanding. That first 20 minutes was probably the best we've attacked with a ball this year.
Oh, 100%.
I think for the first 2 minutes, Saints felt like they were in a physical battle, and then we just started flinging ball around. But it wasn't aimlessly. It was to a plan.
Yeah.
They'd obviously targeted their right edge, our left-hand side, and we ripped them to shreds.
That was really, really good coaching, that, because Dean
It's all right, isn't it?
Dean Cross had hardly trained with them, and John Bennison's, I just don't think he's very good.
Shite.
Oh my God! Keep it in. That's the first one. That's the first time you've sworn in years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Your hatred for John Bennison.
It's not hatred. He's average.
Average.
Wow. I'm gobsmacked.
I know. You caught me out.
So, I mean...
You need to apologise to George.
Sorry, George.
Basically, Brad Arthur...
George is probably 19 now.
Yeah. Brad Arthur just outcoached an inexperienced Paul Wellington.
A really rubbish coach, yeah.
He should never have put Dean Cross and John Bennison together anyway.
I thought you were going to say he should never be the head coach of St Helens then.
I think Arthur was a positive as well, not like making... We've said before when we've had like injuries and stuff like that where we make too many changes to just cover one injury. He kept our left-hand side intact, and you can see now that combination between Connor, Gannon, it's...
Yeah.
And they've got more of an understanding of what Connor's going to do when he's got the ball in hand, what Miller's going to do when he drifts across to that left-hand side. It wasn't disjointed and clunky, which it can look like if you're making too many changes.
Because I think even we said on pod maybe put Ash back on wing for this game. I'm glad he didn't, It's
Don't listen to us.
Don't ever listen to us.
That's another positive. Though.
The only time when we're right.
How good was Edghill?
Exactly. So it's like stick them in. So we were wrong, weren't we?
I think people forget how solid it. How like I do as well. You forget how hard he is, as in like mentally tough and physically tough.
Yeah.
Doesn't shy away.
Well,
from
he got a knee to
carrying
head and he were all right.
Flying kick to the yeah.
Shall we discuss that?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll come to that. I've got Miller, Gannon, Jake Connor, KP. It's one of those games where the whole side really played really, really well. I think we'll start with kind of something that you've briefly touched on. It's such a great start. Clearly, what we did, we admitted towards the end after the game, that we'd worked on some stuff during the week and just gave it all a go. Some new set plays, some chucking about. This is the best version of Arthur's Rhinos I've seen.
Yes, and the thing is, it's going to get disrupted against Hull, isn't it? So it's a difficult call, isn't it? Which we will get onto later, obviously. But it's all built on defence. Yeah, you can't. We'd looked so solid. They were never getting through, were they? No. They were just. And it's all right saying, well, Saints were crap, but we were making them really badly because the defence was just smothering them.
Absolutely.
Saints aren't crap.
No, well,
they're not in form.
They're not the same side they were years ago.
No,
they're not the same side that we've got that awful record against, because their players are getting over the hill now, and they're hopefully starting their horrible patch of years that we're kind of getting out of now, and you can see the light at the end of what has been a dark tunnel. But I think for me, like, we were just this. Yeah, we caught them on the hop a bit. I think they were expecting us to be very physical, be a bit more direct, and they weren't I didn't expect us to go wide that early.
That's why I think it's great coaching.
I think it caught everyone unexpected.
That's why it's down to coach that. I thought it was great. Just like they'll be expecting us to build the game, and it were clear. You've got the skill.
Yeah.
Just go and attack it.
Back yourself, and that's what Connor said at the end in his.
Told him to be a bit braver, didn't he?
Yeah, a bit braver with ball.
I think us doing that as really unsettled Saints and upset them, because they weren't a plan for that. We've just gone. They probably planned for what we've done for the whole year, like the things you just mentioned, and then we've gone. Actually, no, we are going to turn it on. We're going to catch on the outside. We're going to fling it about. You need to deal with it. You need to adapt to it.
He's been giving us signs, as Brad Arthur, that's what's going to happen. He's like, I'm trying to fix the fundamentals first.
Then off that.
Off that, he said, didn't he? We will get better.
And I think the proof was in the pudding when he being Wellens, hooked John Bennison off.
Shame that. I should have played the 80 minutes.
20.
They're our 14th.
Half hour, I think it was,
yeah. I thought that was down to, obviously John Bennison's just not very good, but I thought that was down to the way we were attacking, the way we were looking.
He had to take it off.
He had to quickly change it, because we're going to pepper him all night.
We'd have scored another 3-4 tries.
It'd have been great. It'd have been absolutely great.
To be fair to Helens, he made the call, didn't he?
He made the call.
Yeah.
When your job's on the line. Well, again, we'll come to that. A lovely break, and an absolutely, we've just watched it again, outstanding kick. And just
he is a 6, isn't he?
From Morgan Gannon for Lund to score. Just on Gannon, he is absolutely unreal. The skill set that he has, and we know he's leaving. That's done. The skill set he has seems to know no bounds. It should excel for us throughout the rest of the year. And
definitely.
Obviously, develop further over on in New Zealand. But I thought he were unbelievable.
I've seen people say they should be dropped.
No, I thought he were amazing yesterday. The kick through for the lump try, loving it.
Yeah. Well, it was fifth tackle as well, wasn't it? And I can't remember who it was, shot out the line to try and think, right, Connor's going to kick. He looked up and thought, I'll fling it to Ash. Ash has got the ball, and then you're thinking, all right, just kick it down line. He passes it inside Gannon's fruit gap, and then you can see Gannon running, just looking around what's going on.
Riley's like that.
Riley's hand up, and then
I'll take that
falls on a 2p.
Great centre play again by Ash. He's really... Because he was really aware, wasn't he? Everyone around me were going, inside! But he knew. Because we all thought he was going to pass to Riley, but Gannon was just there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But it was like effortless, wasn't it? the skill to kick that ball,
honestly,
is unbelievable. That's halfback skill, that, isn't it?
It's a 6.
6.
It's quite clearly a 6 in a loose forward / front rower's body.
Very good.
Let's get straight to the biggest talking point. Lewis Murphy sin-binned on the 60th minute for a high challenge when he, for a brief moment, thought he had become immersed in the Mortal Kombat side of this multiverse and decided to deliver his flying knee fatality finisher direct straight to Alfie Edgel's face. Bad Breath Paul Williams described the sin-binning as ridiculous and flabbergasting.
Yeah. Well, go on.
For me, the yellow card was perfect. The perfect balance. What wasn't a red. I actually thought the officials handled it really well.
The officials did.
Yeah.
There's some people that didn't.
Some people
which
didn't.
I'm going to have a rant about.
It was a very unusual situation, but leading in with a knee like that in the modern game is never going to go unpunished. It's just not. I also thought JJB summed it up really well after the game when he mentioned that there's a lot of lawyers typing away at reports and investigating head injuries in the game from previous players. So, which is why officials are reacting to all headshots in the manner that they are. And one last thing before I bring these two guys in. The game we watch now is not the game we watched when we were growing up, when younger kids were growing up. It's changing. Some will think for the better, some will think it's a worse game. But that game we used to know and love, that where these type of shots, high shots, went unpunished or were just penalties, doesn't exist anymore. And it never will exist.
I'd argue that that's never existed. You can't jump leading with your knees.
Yeah, you really can't knee someone in the face, can you?
In the face.
In any sport.
Now,
apart from kickboxing, maybe.
Yellow, fine.
UFC. Yeah.
Good result. That's fine. I wouldn't like to see a red because it wasn't malicious. He didn't mean to knee him in the head.
Yes.
However, you've got to be aware that when you're jumping, there's players around. It literally led with his knees. And the reason I'm saying that is he didn't catch the ball. He was in front of the ball. So I think yellow's fine. He didn't mean to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
But you can't do it. The issue I've got with it is the commentators and John Wilkin and Jenna Brooks all claiming that it's some kind of outrage that somebody knees somebody in the head and they get a yellow card. It's a dangerous precedent you're setting if you're saying, well, it was an accident, he were jumping, but he's knocked him clean out.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the other Saints players did it again.
It's yellow on it.
Yeah. I don't get what... They're either trying to cause controversy where there is none.
There ain't any.
Or John Wilkins lost his mind. He blamed it on Alfie Edgell.
Yeah.
He said, and I think this is a direct quote, it was more because of Alfie Edgell's pathetic attempt to jump at the ball.
He's about to jump?
Wait,
I'd
like to see John Wilkin try jump when you've just been kneed in the head.
Can I knee him in the head? I can't jump that high.
If you'd like to get in the ballot to knee John Wilkin in the head.
Tickets are £55 each. There's a lot of demand.
Jenna Brooks saying to Paul Williams...
I don't want to knee Jenna Brooks in there.
No. Jenna Brooks said something like, this is a problem in the game and it needs stamping out, doesn't it? Right. And she wasn't talking about people kneeing people in the head. She was talking about yellow cards. I was just baffled that they were trying to make some controversy out.
Great officiating.
But I know that
decision.
I know they're there for entertainment, but I think it's irresponsible to sort of shrug stuff like that off. It were an accident. He shouldn't have gone in like that with his knees. Yeah. Yellow card. Where's the issue? But they made it an issue.
It almost felt. Just sorry to go on the back of what Chris. I agree with what you said.
It's your turn.
I felt they almost tried to make it like you say, like almost Alfie had won the penalty. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like he'd stayed down, like he'd just been a little tap and he'd just gone down and held his head, which you see players do when there's a bit of head contact. Artemog does it.
I'd still be laying down on the floor there.
Well, and you think. We were saying before the pod, collisions can happen.
Before the pod.
Collisions can happen. A ball goes in the air. You could be lifting your arms, try to catch ball, and you might catch a player. If it had been elbow to head and he's trying to catch the ball coming out of the sky, completely different. But like Chris said, he's led with his knee and he's caught him with his knee. It's reckless. He's potentially endangering opponents. He's made contact with the head. It's a yellow card.
Yeah.
It's a yellow card. There's no issue with it.
It wasn't even that controversial, was it?
No.
But so I don't know what everyone's going on about.
I don't get it. It don't matter whether it don't matter at what point. If that was a Leeds player, you're not turning around going, well, he's attempted to get
I'd have been
ball.
annoyed at the Leeds player.
Yeah.
Because what are you doing?
Yeah. No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, collisions could happen, but not like that. Like, that isn't two players. Yes, Murphy's going for the ball, but he's made whatever he's tried to do by jumping that early. To jump leading with your knee, you are, like I say, it's reckless and you're endangering fellow
going
players.
for the ball is not a defence.
No.
You can't just... Do you know what I mean?
I'm going for
and
the
that's
ball.
what they were saying.
Flying
because he
elbow.
was trying to get the ball. Well, does that mean you can stud him in face?
Yeah. I mean, you can knee him straight to his cheekbone.
And he's lucky he didn't get some studs in chest as well. It was
nasty.
but yeah, it was just...
Accidental.
When I watched it back, I was really annoyed with what everyone was saying about it on TV.
I'm not saying... From my point of view, I'm not saying that, like you've just said, I don't think it was... In no way has he gone, right, I'm going to knee him in the head. But when you lead with your knee, jumping at that height, there is a chance you're going to make contact with someone.
And that's the whole point about being
contact
reckless,
with someone,
Yeah,
and that's where the reckless comes into it.
If you compare it to a high shot, a bad one or whatever, 99% of the time the player's not going to think, right, I'm going to go smash him in his head.
No.
It's accidental, isn't it?
Yeah.
But reckless.
Yeah.
And bad technique.
It's the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing.
Exactly the same thing. It's just a different instance. And it's quite unique, or very unique, that we're here agreeing with the decision. We've all nodded and said, yes, that's a yellow card, nothing more. It's accidental. It's reckless. And when we're actually on the flip side of the fence here, saying that the coverage was wrong. Because usually we sit here saying the referee is wrong. But this time...
We quite often say John Wilkins wrong.
We always say John Wilkins wrong.
It's just he's excelled himself on this one.
Moving on to our defence. I thought our defence was absolutely brilliant. Limiting Saints, keeping our composure somewhat, particularly when Saints scored, Duncan. Did you? Because we've said on this podcast we've had moments against Saints this year, against all the other games that we reviewed and spoke about many a times. When Saints scored, did you get a feeling of, oh no, we're getting a bit fragile? Or
I think we tried. We made a lot of errors.
Yeah,
we made a lot of errors at the start of the second half, and I think it was. I'm not going to say against the better side because we just like defending, and we put confidence in our defence, and that gives you confidence then to throw the ball around. You can't have tries like the first try in the first 10 minutes, but then I think where you're probably looking at how many times you try and overplay your hand. We made there were some daft mistakes on first tackle, both in their half and then coming out of our own end. But at no point did I really look and go, do you know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about this. At 10-4, it was a bit... It was, right, they might score again. But actually, then when they got close, they were quite toothless, Saints in attack. I don't think they knew how to break us down, and it's quite refreshing.
To us, right?
They were very lateral, weren't they?
Yeah.
Testament to us.
And like I said, people might say, well, Saints were crap, but it's the defence that's making them
crap.
Yeah, they're just making them run lateral because there's nothing going on. And it's going to take me quite a while to get out of the feeling that we're going to throw it away.
Well, yeah,
so I didn't think we were going to throw it away. It stopped when Jack put the drop goal over. I thought they're not scoring twice.
No.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was really impressed when we managed to keep our cool. We didn't blow the game as we have previous games this year. And I felt like the result felt like we were turning a page, because I felt like we needed to win a game like that and get one.
I didn't realise that that's the first time Harry Newman's been inside that's beaten Saints. And his 13th attempt. It's a big monkey off his back. That I know we've beaten them, like Blake Austin drop goal, but
that was the one.
I don't think we've ever beaten them properly.
Like we have, yeah.
I think there's that. I think you're right. It could be a page turner. That. I think the break's probably come at a bad time.
Yeah, I agree. I'd love to have another game.
The
now.
players might not think that.
I think it gives us. I think when you get a week, especially under someone like Arthur, with how much he demands, and the accountability we've got for each player's got now, and you can see that in the roles when they're talking after games and in press conferences before and stuff like that. I don't think the week off's a problem for us, because I think it actually helps us. I think we'll come back refreshed, go into the Hull game, and be ready to go. We just now want it'd be nice to go into get a bit of a run going now. I think that's the next challenge for us. Getting a bit of if we can win 2 or 3 games on the bounce, that's where it'll.
Fixtures are fairly favourable for that, though, aren't they?
They are, but you know, we've not. That's sort of the next thing for this team to back up a performance and go again.
What would be nice is not to drop out at top 4 for the rest of the season.
Stay there.
And which is doable.
It's within our gift now to do it. Well, we're there now, aren't we?
Yeah.
So
let's stay there.
Yeah.
Just on St Helens, 3rd consecutive loss. Do you think they'll sack Paul Wellens? Is he getting
I hope not.
booted down the road? We obviously want him to stay, but what do you think?
Needs time.
Do I think they will? No. Should they? Probably, yeah. Don't think it's all his fault.
I think the recruitment's terrible.
I don't know who's done the recruitment.
Tristan Saylor, I mean, he's one at worst he's got to be up there with one at worst overseas signings this year.
They were all praising that tackle on Riley Lum. I'm like, you just pushed him into touch, mate.
I tell you, Saints are normally one of them where the recruitment, I think their recruitment's gone off the ball a bit because they've not had to recruit.
That's
it's a bit
true.
like when we were.
It's exactly the same as what's happening is what happened to us.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's all down to Paul Wellens.
No, but he's gonna take the flak for it.
Yeah.
But
He's shown he can make tough decisions.
Yeah.
But
it's going to take more than one coach and one off season to sort out the problem.
It was wrong time to put him in charge, I think. Am I okay to say I feel a bit sorry for him?
Yeah.
I don't mind him as a bloke.
I think the abuse is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff on
it's awful, really. I mean,
some of the stuff online that you see of like, I mean, I said, stuff got really toxic in our fan base under Rowan.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was ever personal towards Rowan.
Somewhat, but I mean,
as in like,
it's not as bad as
there weren't fans like. There were a couple of the journalists put out after Magic that he was like stopped on the way. Some fan tried to have a go at him on the way down the stairs. I mean, stuff like that.
End of the day, he's a club legend,
ridiculous.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Which is, he probably shouldn't have taken the job.
He probably cares as much about the. I mean, it's easy to stand on the sideline and say, "Oh, well, why has he got like Benison playing or anyone like that?" But who else has he got?
Well, that's right. Where's Conrad Urrell? Halifax,
I think.
I don't know. I do feel a bit sorry for him because I'm not sure it's all down to him. It's an ageing squad. We said it, didn't we? They'll start well, and like Walmsley just looks a shadow of himself. But it's because he's getting older.
Yeah.
We dealt with him really well.
It's because he's 44.
Yeah.
Can't keep playing forever.
They've got some really good players as well. So it's not.
Wellesby's
a good player. Isn't he?
He's too much. He's just not a little whining sod.
He's just.
I cannot stand him.
No,
he's a good player.
I think Lomax is a bigger whiner than.
Yeah,
I like Lomax.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
You all right?
He's a good player, but
I've always said on this platform, I think he's an outstanding player.
What? Even when he got phantom punched.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that with James McDonnell.
Yeah.
God, I tore into him off back of that. No, I didn't. I tore into him and Chris Kendall. Yeah, I remember that. No, I can't stand Lomax actually. I can't stand Lomax actually.
I think it's one of them with like any clubs. Wigan will go through it.
They will. They have before, haven't they?
Wigan went through it.
Cyclical, isn't it?
Of course it is. Because you go through your winning patch, your purple patch.
Look at UKR. They're going opposite end, aren't they?
Look at UKR. They'll never win anything. Clip that.
Look at Warrington.
They're doing all right. I think clubs fans are often entitled, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just like ours were. When,
we still are.
I almost hope they don't sack him.
I doing a great job.
I hope they don't.
No, but it'd just be nice, wouldn't it? Saying that, he's been there a couple of years, hasn't he?
Until we play him again. Keep him there.
Play him again. Two key players, two standout performances once more. And we're talking about the same things.
Johnny Lomax.
Oh, yeah. Johnny Lomax is a little...
And Jack Wellsby.
We're saying the same things over and over. They are both absolutely critical to this Rhinos side. We will start with JC. He won the official player of the match. He spoke to Sky after the game and he said something on the lines of, Brad Arthur's been the best coach of his career, demanded more from himself in terms of expressing his skills, allowing himself even more freedom, which... Connor kind of said he's even holding himself back a little, which he has to work on, because Arthur's even completely let him off the reins. Arthur's implored him to kind of express himself even further. Duncan, this is the best version of Jake Connor in his career.
I think it's what we
said last night.
It's what we wanted. It's what we wanted. We wanted someone... We struggled last year breaking teams down in decent areas of the pitch. He's doing it, and he's doing it against every team. And every team, regardless of what opposition fans will say and stuff like that, everyone's looking at Jake Connor. Everyone's waiting for him to fall. Everyone's saying, oh, he's this, he's that, he's rubbish. And he keeps coming up with assists, 40-20s, assists from kicks, a couple of tries thrown in the mix. He's played 7, he's played 6, he's played fullback. He's been a very, very, very good signing for us this year. Very good signing.
He's one of the best passes of them all I've seen. He doesn't look neither, does he? He's been super impressive, hasn't he? And what's been really good is he is still winding players up.
He is.
But he's doing it just at the right time.
He was excellent last night when he grabbed his foot.
Oh,
everyone around me. I was sat. For some weird reason, I was sat with loads of Hull fans. I did move.
Marcus the stink.
And like, look at Jake Connor diving. I said, he's got hold of his foot. If he didn't go down then, I'd have been annoyed at Jake Connor.
Yeah. I just like
the fact
the fact he went down, ref gives a penalty, and then he laughed at him.
Yeah.
I was like, and then he causes a melee, and he stood at back laughing.
So he's doing it just at the right time. Whereas he used to, he'd lost the plot, hadn't he, really, at Huddersfield. And he's just winding him up just at the right time.
I think we're sort of, he's good for us and we're good for him, because we're putting him on a bigger stage. He's not playing in front of 2 men and a dog at Huddersfield. He's playing in front of like 14,000-15,000 each week, which that'll bring out the best in him as well. So,
and I think he knows Leeds is the biggest club he'll ever play for, as it is for the biggest majority of people who play the game, and Brad Arthur. So I think the mix of Leeds, Brad Arthur, Jake Connor, you put that in a cocktail.
Brad sort of said that
it's the most delicious drink you've ever drank.
He's worked on his physicality, hasn't he? Because he's a big guy, isn't he, Jake Connor, for a half? And he's sort of, I get the feeling he said, I can't teach him the skills he's got. That's in the bag, innit? You just do that, but be a bit more. He's been good in defence as well.
Apart from that miss for the Whitley try. That's his only thing. But I think when he creates 2 and gives up 1, and you win, you'll kind of ignore it. But that's the only side of his game. I mean, you're not going to say anything about his kicking game. His kicking game's great, and his handling.
It's sublime.
Opposition worry about him. They look and they go, "Where is he?
Where's he going?"
That creates space for other players, like it did Ash on the edge.
And then when he's got it, they're like, "Right, what is he going to do?"
Yeah.
Called it, Eddie.
You did. You did say way back when, before a ball was thrown, before a ball was kicked, that Jake Connor, JC.
Well,
Man of Steel.
every club I've seen him play for, he's always played well against us, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has actually. Seems to have scored the same try as well.
Yeah. And when we signed him, I'm thinking, if he can do that for us every week, golden.
Yeah.
So he's nailed his position now, hasn't he? 6 or 7, whichever it is. I don't think it really matters.
The Jake Connor lot pod.
So
this is now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There was a shot on Sky of the tunnel before kick-off. And
I hadn't seen this.
You haven't seen it. A lot of people will have, but Brian kind of commented, and it's just shot of the players, but they kind of zoomed in on Jake Connor, and he's just sort of lent on the tunnel, just really nonchalant, just looking so relaxed, just like he's not about to play a game of rugby league, one of the toughest sports, in a massive stadium on a rather big stage. I've never seen someone with so much aura. His aura is absolutely through the roof. He's heading out to play, and it looks like he's just queuing for post office. He's just got they're just the size of 2 watermelons, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just got to continue, because
to keep it up.
if it doesn't, there'll be people getting right on his back,
as soon as and he will have a poor game, because well, we hope he doesn't, but he is going to have a game. Like, I mean, Saints away, people couldn't wait to say, like, ball obviously goes into touch, so people around us, and they were like, oh, it's rubbish from Connor and all this lot, and you think, that's the sort of player he is. You're going to get balls that go into touch,
of course,
but you're also going to get the one that misses out 4 men and puts someone in at the corner. You know, you're going to get both.
He threw one straight to Sailor, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, defence on that were outstanding.
Well, how many players did we have in the picture when he broke? It wasn't just. I mean, Ash ankle tapped him.
Lucky had a go at him. And then there was another 3 or 4 coming back, and I know Lasoni ended up on him, but you know, we had more in the frame than Saints did. Yeah,
but
unbelievable.
Yeah, going back to your point, you're not going to get a perfect rugby league player, are you? So the person that does the stuff that he does will go wrong sometimes.
Yeah. Of course it will. Yeah. Another player that played another enormous part, particularly in our attack. We speak of Connor, but Lucky Miller.
Yeah, what do you want me to say? The chairman.
How you are? It seems to have just thriving in this environment. Some just continuing unbelievable form. I'm just running out of.
He did throw one pass, and I was like, "Lockie, what are you doing? It was right on his own line, and it just was behind."
But
Ash.
It's similar to Connor,
like,
right?
Oh my god,
they are going to chuck those passes.
He hasn't done it as much this year, has he? But I think
he's cut the errors out.
I think it was like, go do your thing. The pitch wasn't suited to him neither. Did you notice everyone slipping about? Because there were a few points where I'm like, he'd usually step, but I think.
He's got
still made over 200 metres though, didn't
he? Yeah.
510, I think.
Yeah, 599.
Yeah, there were the pass into touch we talked about on the pod before the pod.
The best pod.
I don't like to blame young kids, but Riley were in wrong position there.
Yeah.
It was walking. He were too far back. Ash gave him a right serve, didn't he? But yeah, it was great, wasn't it? I mean, he did the old trick again, didn't he? Tap and go.
It's
going to come off.
Run it. He's going to score from one of them. I loved his pass as well. He threw a pass, it bounced and landed to Ash Hanley like a 40-metre pass. It was a sevens pass, wasn't it? He just saw us and just went boom. It bounced and Ash caught.
I mean, if one of them goes badly wrong, we're going to get on his back.
Yeah, the fact he throws on
it's another one like Connor.
It's very similar.
Stuff is it's going to go wrong, but I think we've got a platform in our defence where we showed, like, the positive is that it's shown that we can handle when things do go wrong.
Yeah,
like the start of that second half, we weren't perfect. We coughed a lot of ball up.
I thought we were terrible. But
what we did do, we didn't crumble and let them score 2 quick tries or 3 quick tries. It was.
I thought it was the game that was scrappy. It got a bit messy, didn't it? They're still terrible at lying on and flopping.
I mean, I just think he's massively kicked on this year. I think he's in the top. He's
top 10
certainly
players
for me.
Agreed.
He's in the top. He's in the top 2 fullbacks. I think Field and him.
I agree.
It's better than
I
Field.
still get stick from opposition fans, but
no, they can give everyone stick.
What I really like is when he'll switch the play. So he'll go one way, won't it? And he'll dart round,
just
go
duck back out.
But he's got the pass to be able to do it. Now, not everyone has he? He can throw a 30-metre, 40-metre pass.
Either side.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
He can pass
his defence as well.
It's his defensive reading that I like. For somebody that's not played that much rugby league.
I don't even reckon he's played. I've got 46 games here. But it might be one or two less or one or
he's
two more.
marshalling of the defence and where he is in the defensive line. Yeah, he's totally different player to last year.
Oh, unbelievably. He's just getting better
but
and
still
better.
entertaining, which is why I'm the chairman. You've got to be entertained, haven't you?
Yeah. Mr. Entertainment.
I'm not sure he should be kicking.
I was going to say that. Duncan, he is the goal kicker. He's got all goal kicking responsibilities. Do you think, are you happy with that for Lackey to have the goal kicking responsibilities, or is there someone
the
else?
best kicker we had on the pitch yesterday was Jack.
I don't get why he's not kicking.
But he didn't kick. Now, probably says to me that Miller's going to get more minutes on the field than what Jack is through the season, which would be a fair shout that he will do.
That's
with everyone that's coming back. So the more Miller practices, the more he'll get better, you're hoping. But I think the one in front of the sticks is the one that you just can't miss. You can't miss that penalty.
Do you know what? His goal kicking's going to be like his rugby playing.
Yeah.
He'll kick one from side,
from halfway line.
and then miss.
But then when there's one just left at the sticks.
I mean, if that's the only thing that we've, if we're picking holes in, we're not exactly sat here going, we wish he could catch a high ball because he don't drop them.
Like
Did you see the one when he turned?
Yeah.
There was a kick in it. It was like caught from just
these little things
through
like
the
that.
roof.
I think sometimes people don't appreciate how difficult that is.
How skilled that is.
Catching a ball over your shoulder.
We'll have to get him back on the pod. We'll have to
He'll
come back
come
on.
on,
Come back on, Lackey. Just looking ahead ever so
Is that
slightly.
when he gets 5 in a row over Matt Frawley?
Well, he's got 2.
I don't
We'll come to that. We're talking about fast time player of the match. We'll come to that very, very soon. Just slightly looking ahead to 2026. Miller is out of contract for 2026. He is 30 years old. For me now, in this form, I would be locking him down now for at least another year.
Yeah.
You'd imagine Blaze is having them conversations
There must be
already.
now,
They're not going to.
He's in the form of his life.
We've got Alfie Edgell and Riley Lummer were both fullbacks by trade, aren't they? I think we've got to keep hold of him for another year at least.
Yeah.
And let him learn the trade, and they're ready to take over
And
then.
then see how Lackey's form develops over the next 2 seasons.
Well, if we don't
this
time
season,
up, somebody else will, won't they?
Oh yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. Any other side in Super League would take
He
it.
seems to love, well, maybe not Wigan, but he seems to...
No, he hates Wigan. He told us that.
Yeah, he seems to love it in Leeds, and he's a big personality in the team, isn't he? He does a lot of talking in a positive way, not jibber jabber. Getting signed up.
So, coming back, we have Croft, we have Cam, and then you look at the spine. JC, Croft, Miller, Cam, Sinfield, even Frawley, just looking so healthy in that spine. It's going to be... I also
don't think Frawley will play again.
No, I don't.
I don't.
I also think Fergus McCormack will be the real star when he...
In a couple of years,
when he comes through. The pack, Duncan, you are our prop forward union lot pod prop forward union member. What did you make of the pack this week's game?
This week I want to shout out Paliasia.
Paliasia gets the Duncan.
KP.
It's like the Paul Hollywood handshake. You know, break off. KP, you've got the handshake.
I thought he was really good. Him and how good is Watkins as a signing as well. How people can sit there and go about that man. Why did we sign him? Yesterday played.
I don't even know where he's playing, but it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
Well, yesterday I reckon he played.
He did at some point.
Yeah.
13. Well, he started 13. Bit of prop. And then we'll chuck him in centre when Alfie goes off.
I think he takes Bentley's starting spot.
Yeah.
Bentley goes to the bench.
Well,
when Cam's back.
We'll come to that for the whole game because
he's been outstanding, hasn't he?
And then Paliasia moving out of 13 and going into the props. The ball movement yesterday, just that. It is so hard to find a middle like Paliasia that can pass a ball, then have a 13 like Watkins that can pass a ball, Then if you're shifting it to one of your halves, the ball movement all of a sudden is really fluent. And I think, it's just people doing the jobs. It is literally people doing the jobs in the pack. Everyone knows what they need to do. Lasoni, I mean, I'm not his biggest fan.
No, we've given him stick, haven't we?
But yesterday, Blumenecki were chasing. And even JJB said that's not something you'd have seen a Lasoni. A Lasoni of last year or years gone by, no chance he's chasing that. He's one of the first back when Saylor makes that break. I think they're all, like I said, they're all doing the jobs. They are all doing the jobs. And Paliasia and Jenkins have been some signings for us.
Brilliant, yeah. He didn't play much, Cooper, did he, yesterday?
No.
But his leg looked strapped up. I don't know whether there's...
Yeah, you'd imagine he'd been carrying something if he's only done one stint, but we didn't really need him.
Well,
I know that sounds really bad.
That sounds grim, but it's true.
But I didn't look at the bench and go, because you get too engrossed in the game, don't you? Watch it when I was watching it on TV.
Yeah, I do.
You get a bit engrossed in the game, you forget about your bench. Then when he come on, I was like, we had Cooper on bench.
I like to skate. We're good. I don't know how many metres. I've not looked at stats.
I've got them here,
but I bet they were high.
Take a look. 9,912
it was, I think, for a lead ski.
Jack Sinfield, the drop goal, just to completely shift the momentum firmly back to Leeds, particularly as Saints had really started to get on top. A fantastic game management and a chip off the old block there for the...
Oh, it was his dad,
Jack the lad, yeah.
It was
just knocking one over.
Get down.
We've seen that 1,000 times, haven't we?
Really good drop goal and all, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, technically.
And Saints, for whatever reason, just weren't expecting it.
No.
I thought we were just going to keep running it.
I wasn't even sure it was the right thing to do at the time, and I'm like...
Really?
Well, I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
What did you think of Jack's game, Duncan?
He's getting better. I don't think he's a half. He's not done anything wrong. But I'd love to see him at 9. I think he's got to be in the 17 for me. So they've got to find a way to keep him in, because I don't think you can. I don't think he's done anything that warrants him coming out. But then we're going to talk about who's coming back in
for the whole game. Yeah.
What were? Sorry, Dunk. What was really nice was that Brad Arthur said that he had a plan, and he's until Croft comes back. You're inside no matter what.
Yeah.
It's a really good way to handle that, isn't it? Like I said, I don't think Frawley will play again.
Well, it's easy for us to sit here as fans and go, "Oh yeah, drop Frawley." But when you're a coach and you've got an overseas quota player that's will be on more money than Jack
and got a lot of experience,
it'd be very easy just to say, "Oh, we'll stick with Frawley," but he's gone. No, you've had your chance. We're going to give Jack a go.
Yeah,
and fair play to Arthur. And I think you can see him. He's not sort of in his first few games. He looked like the thing that Arthur said was, "We don't want him to try too hard." And that's the good thing about saying, right, you've got the shirt till Croft back. But I think I'd love to see him in the 17 because he can cover 9 and halves, and what a thing to have on. What our bench suddenly covers. If you're saying you've got Callum on there as well, you're covering
any issue.
Any issue comes up, you can react to it. It's not in years gone by where it's square pegs round holes, is it? So no, I think he's going to. He's proving people wrong that are saying he's only in the team because of his name on the back of his shirt. But it's a lazy thing to say.
He's not even the same type of player, really, is he?
No,
at all.
No. Well, we say that, and then we've just said
well,
it were like his dad.
And we've just said, just like your old man, that Jack knocking it over when we needed it. Just straight into the stats pack for this week. I'm just going to do the meters. Miller, 27 carries, 209 metres. Harry Newman, 16 carries for 97 metres. Ash, 13 carries for 107 metres. Watkins, 16 carries for 109 metres. Riley, 15 carries for 106 metres. Morgan, 17 carries for 141. Aletsky, 15 carries for 111 metres. So that is just
a lot of meters, isn't it?
Domination.
We've had games where nobody's got over 100
from the Leeds side. Is there anything else?
Sorry.
That is 1,
3.
3, and I did 3.
3.
Is there anything else from this game before we tuck it in, put it to bed? No?
No, I think that's
great, great to finish weekend back and forth.
And it's a perfect weekend as well because United won and Scum got beat.
Right.
So it's a perfect weekend, everyone. Now it's time to move on for our Matt Frawley Fast Science Player of the Match. Just before we choose our votes, we would love for you to play along at home. Please comment below on this YouTube video with your selection for the Matt Frawley Fast Science Player of the Match, and let's see if you agree with us. I'm going to go first. My Matt Frawley Fast Science Player of the Match is Lackey Miller, because I thought it was outstanding, but more importantly, it could potentially be the 3rd week running, which would mean he would be 2 further.
I'm in a dilemma here.
That's why I've gone first. 2 further. I need one here to back me up, Chris. 2 further games, and the award will become the Lackey Miller Fast Signs
Go to Duncan.
Player of the Match. Duncan. He's not going to say Miller.
No,
Who's your Matt Frawley?
I said in the pod before the pod.
The best pod.
I said we've got, for me, I had 3. Gannon,
Outstanding.
Watkins,
Outstanding.
Miller, who were my 3. I'm going to say Callum, because his stats were outstanding, and the fact he's played 3 different positions in
But
the
we
same
lose
game,
nothing in
and
terms
we
of
lose
quality.
nothing in terms of quality. Yeah,
He is such a good player. It's absolutely.
so that's why I'm
Unbelievable.
going Callum.
So we have 1 vote
Well,
for Callum
that helps me
Watkins.
out. That helps me out.
We have 1 vote for Lackey Miller. Producer Chris.
But you've got the deciding vote, haven't you?
Have I?
Well,
It's
it's
your
your
podcast.
pod.
Fair enough.
I'm going Morgan Gannon.
You're going Morgan.
So it's up to you now, isn't it?
Morgan Gannon. You are. I've got to give it to Lackey.
Yeah.
Surely.
You can give it to whoever you want.
Whoever you
Lackey
want.
Miller. It's only because the. Is he going to get the next? Lackey Miller, congratulations, you are the fast
Are we just going to rig it?
Eddie, you were injured. Lackey Miller, you've done it. You've done it. Lackey, you are the Matt Frawley Fast Science Player of the Match. You need 2 more, Lackey, and then you'll be the new Player of the Match award. Just moving on now to some comments from Luke Carey. He's been talking to the media out in Australia around Super League and the general TV coverage. I'll just say part of his quote that he said to, I think it was Triple M or Wide World of Sports. Carey said, "I'll go on record saying Super League is in such a bad way. The game is horrendous over here. It's the product, the coverage, the news around the game. There is zero. Just the top teams have support, and that is it. You watch the games, they're near unwatchable. The way Sky do it now, or whoever's got it, it's near unwatchable. And all the players know it. Cover your ears, George. I can't follow it, and I fucking play in it." I apologise for the bad language. Is he right? Do you agree? He's been here for 2 minutes.
I think my take on it is he has got some valid points, but typical Australian, they're very arrogant and they come across and they've got nothing else to worry about. Very good. They've got nothing else to worry about, have they, in Australia? Like, it's, rugby's like I say it, they've got the AFL, haven't they? But
AFL's.
yeah,
You almost swore then, didn't you?
I don't actually mind it, really, but it's
But I think he's. I agree the coverage of Sky is poor. The amount of mistakes that are made on coverage, whether it be spelling mistakes of players' names, whether it be wrong teams on certain that, it's quite amateur, especially when you're looking on like Sky Sports News. You get a Sky Sports News presenter talking about a Sky Sports, a rugby league game, and there'll be numerous mistakes in there. I think putting the coverage this year behind the red button is a bit weak, especially on like the big Thursday and Friday night games.
I think we should have been on a channel.
It should be on a. You're looking at what's on the channel, and it's like tennis in Rotterdam and stuff like that, and you think
we're behind that. Yeah.
To be fair,
it's fallen that far behind the ratings.
I wouldn't blame Sky for that. That's their contract. They can only show 2 on linear channels. That's the contract. The reason is because of Super League Plus.
Super League Plus.
I think they've got. I think they've got to probably look at. I think the fall. All of it doesn't lie with Sky.
No.
You know, you could do a full pod on what he said because.
Yeah. I could give you.
There's the RFL. You know, the game's probably not marketed enough. There's not enough money in the game. But then we're saying all this, and he's saying this, yet all 3 Ashes tests, 2 of the Ashes tests are sold out, and fingers crossed they can get enough down at Wembley to open that top tier, and that to me is a result. That
is a success.
That is a success. But if the NRL get involved, things will change, and they will change for the better.
Drastically, yeah.
And that's what's needed. But one of them would not be changed to winter rugby, like Matty John said.
Chris,
there's some truth in what he's saying. I think he's ill-advised to say it when he's playing in this competition and getting paid to be in the competition. Some might say he's in the perfect position to do that, but he's also in South of France where they haven't got a TV deal, which might mean that he can't watch it.
Yeah.
It is really arrogant, especially as he's being pretty shy. So if he's saying it's an inferior competition and he ain't come over and...
Well, that's what I mean. He's not pulling up trees. No, he's not.
So whether he's right or wrong, he's going to get looked at and say, well, if it's so inferior, why are you not best player in the league?
Why are you here? Why are you the best player in the league?
Australians have got a really weird view of the British game or the European game or whatever, and they don't hit nail on head. They compare it to the NRL, and you can't. Having lived in Sydney and everything and been in amongst it all, it's huge. It's like Premier League here.
Yeah.
They have got the AFL to compete with, but not in Sydney and Brisbane, really. The AFL's got no international appeal whatsoever. So you can't just look at the NRL and say, look how good that is. Why is Super League not like that? And the Australians that are doing that are really ill-advised, and they need to get more knowledge of the British game.
Broaden their horizons.
And it's all right saying there's no money in it. Well, there ain't any money in it. And there's various reasons for that, but it's not all down to it being poorly run. It's not marketed properly, but then they moan that they're paying an international marketing agency and want to pull out a deal because it's costing $500,000 a year. $500,000 a year is nothing to market a game.
Market the game.
And they don't want to pay it. You get Derek Beaumont wanting to pull out thinking that he can market it better. What's he going to do?
Put it on a Jet 2 plane.
Yeah, but it takes money, and there's no money in game. No. So it's easy for Luke Keary to come over and give Billy Big Bollocks saying all this.
Well, but it's not all this crap.
But it's not as simple as that, is
but
it?
It's like how many times do Catalans sign players and we sit here, or you sit on a pod at the start of the year and you go, oh, Tavita Pangai, what a signing he's going to be. Poor attitude, looks lazy and fat.
Does it South of France is eating cheese and drinking wine?
No, but they sign these big players on massive money, they come over and then don't really have an impact. You know, more fail than succeed.
Oh, 100%, yeah. So it's just, I just think, it's all fine giving it all this in Australian press, no less. Not, He's not come out on Sky and said it, has he?
No.
Because he probably wouldn't dare, would he? Because he's getting paid a fortune from the Sky money. So it's all right saying, well, he has got some truth behind it. And there's loads of problems in game. I just think it shouldn't be coming from him.
He could have worded
who's only just been here. 2 minutes. I don't know. It's a bit like your siblings, innit? You can slag them off. But anybody...
But no one else. No one else can... Don't you dare.
Super League's got loads of problems, and it does need some drastic thinking.
It's not as bad as he made it out.
No. But there's loads of positives from this season. You've just mentioned the international game. How many crowds have been broken? People are interested.
Clubs are doing some clubs are doing really well. Like, I mean, the Easter weekend as an example. Like Wigan Saints sell out
massive.
You know, Leeds had a big crowd. OKR big crowd.
Huddersfield.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. But then if you took them clubs away and then add Huddersfield, Salford, the ones Cass, you're not getting a lot of money. You're not going to get a lot of people wanting to buy into that. But I've always said the cap is aimed at the clubs like Cass. Not
it's the tail wagging the dog.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Tail wagging the dog.
Yeah. And you're right. It is definitely.
But yeah,
a podcast within itself. Yeah. Shut up, Luke Keary. Announcement time. We are joining forces with Bry at 6 again, and we're heading back to the Brotherhood Bar in Leeds for a Super League mid-season review with not one but two special guests, two of the biggest names to have played this beautiful game of ours. Terry O'Connor and Iestyn Harris are both joining us to review the Super League season so far, share their views on the whole of 2025, and also participate in an audience Q&A. It's on Tuesday, the 1st of July, at 7 o'clock at the Brotherhood Bar in Leeds, the best sports bar in town. Tickets will go on sale very soon, so make sure you follow us on Instagram at _pod to find out exactly when those tickets are on sale. We can't wait for that, right? It'll be
a good one, that won't it?
Absolutely. And something we've never done before, so it's not just Leeds fans.
Bry's always good value, so that'll be...
Bry will be on the panel, so if you are listening to this and you aren't a Leeds fan, you are welcome down.
Yes.
Unless you're a Castleford fan. That's not our rule. We haven't put that policy in place. That's Brotherhood Bar. They've said they don't want anyone that's not washed for 6 weeks to come into the bar. I'm joking. So if you are listening to this and you're not a Leeds fan, or you listen to this and you are a Leeds fan and you've got a mate that's a Cass fan or Wigan fan, tell them they can come down.
Because it's about the whole of Super League.
Yeah, it's going to be a Super League.
We might touch on some of that stuff.
Live Super League mid-season review. So it's not going to be Leeds based. There'll obviously be Leeds discussion in there, but there'll be Wigan, Cass, Wakey, Catalan, etc. So please do come down. I'd just like to say a massive thank you to Terry O'Connor, who's been unbelievably supportive, not just around the event, but the podcast as a whole. And it was actually Terry who organised Iestyn Harris coming down as well. So he's dragging him along with him. Such a nice fella, and we can't wait for the live event. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram. That's where we kind of do most of our social media these days, _pod. And you'll find out exactly when tickets for that event on Tuesday the 1st of July at 7 o'clock at Brotherhood Bar will be on sale. Now, on to Magic Weekend as a whole. 64,000 tickets sold over the weekend, Duncan. Highest ever attendance on the Sunday. Is it a success? How have you seen this weekend?
I think it's a success because I enjoy the ones I've been to. I enjoy going to. Being quite ill this week, so I couldn't make Newcastle this weekend. I would have loved to have gone. I would have gone if I could. I think there's people that in the pod before the pod, like we said,
the best pod. I'm not joking. It's the best pod.
There may be some that don't go and say, "Well, why would you go to Newcastle to watch a game of rugby?" It's completely different. Different. There's legs in it, but you need to almost get more neutrals in there. So, to me, Newcastle, there is a target area of rugby. Why is there not more people going from the Newcastle area?
Get all the Jordans.
Peter Beasley were there.
How well was it?
Looking well, actually.
How well was it marketed? I think it has to stay.
That was my next question.
I would like it to stay. And I would keep it in Newcastle because I think you don't want it in Manchester, Liverpool,
no.
or I think
you don't want anything in Manchester.
Newcastle's ideal. They did something in the first before the first game where they said there's 157 pubs within a mile of the ground. And it's the most in any Premier League stadium in the country. So perfect.
Producer Chris,
50-50 on this, right? Because I enjoy it. I went on Saturday. I think Newcastle's the perfect place for it, so it should just stay there.
Stay there.
I know Newcastle are keen to have it. I just don't know what it's for. I'm struggling to... If I were building a case for introducing it, what is it? What is it for? To me, the problem is people haven't got a lot of money, have they? And it's another showpiece event. So you've got Grand Final, Challenge Cup Final, Magic Weekend.
Yeah, but Cass are never going to have that problem, are they?
International.
They get to see a big stadium and they get away from Cass for a weekend. So they should all
Cass
be
are
going.
getting some...
It's been a while, you know. We've been really, really light on Cass due to Danny being
So
there.
I'm not down on it. I do enjoy it. I'm just not sure what it's for or what we're trying to achieve with it. Because there's next to no marketing in Newcastle.
No.
You don't see loads of people from Newcastle. So why are they not doing that? I think everyone's saying, oh, crowd's great. I don't think it's that great. I don't think 64,000 over a weekend, bearing in mind 2/3 of them might be the same people.
Yeah.
It's not
That's still
64,000 people, is it? So if somebody's gone for a weekend, that's two. Count as two, don't you? Surely.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I think, like, for me this weekend, all games being on mainstream Sky
That's
and not hid behind
massive
a red
positive.
button is positive.
Apart from when it's John Wilkin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, we can be doing more with marketing. Look how we've how we've done with the Ashes. Can we put a bit when they focus? I mean, the Ashes sells itself, but off the back of that, what are we doing about? You know, if you've got all these sellouts coming at the back end of the year, it'd be great to be like, right, Magic's in Newcastle this weekend, flyer it out.
It's kind of what I mean. I don't know what is it for. Do you get what I mean? If I'm marketing it or doing something like, what is it?
Who's the target audience?
It's all rounds of Super League in one stadium over 2 weekends.
Needs a bit more.
Huh? And so if you're trying to market it to new people, there needs to be a certain marketing strategy behind that.
Well,
like, rugby league. You can see all the teams. You can choose a team to support. You can But if you're just marketing it at 40,000 rugby league fans that go watch their teams,
regardless,
what is the point? All you're doing is making it one more event that they've got to pay to go to. It'll end up getting scrapped if Luke fixtures go somehow, because it's not workable, is it? I don't know how NRL do it.
They don't give them the choice.
Right. They just say you're playing.
Yeah.
Playing. But if it either went to 14 teams or 10 teams,
10,
I don't know how it works. I'm not saying scrap it, but like everything, I know it takes money, but it's all so lazily done.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
What is it for? Who are you backing it to?
Yeah. Needs a better package.
Why should somebody new go to that? And it's fairly easy, that, isn't it? Try rugby league. Maybe target schools, target people. It's a big stadium, isn't it?
Massive.
And there's any time between 10 and 20,000 people in it. So it doesn't always look great on TV.
No. That's why you need to pad it out with to me, if you're going to it, you're going to local schools and saying, right, and rugby clubs and going, right, you can see 3 games of rugby for free for one day.
Get them in.
Are they asking people whether they stay to watch the other teams? Because a lot of people don't.
No.
Again, so what's the point?
Yeah.
You're just going to see your team play another team in a big stadium that's 3/4 empty. So they just need to work out what it's for. You are always going to get that though. You'd always get that, even if it was. Well, it'll be kept in, I believe, but you're always going to get the people that'll just go and watch their games and not watch. But then you do get the people. The Challenge Cup used to be that, where people used to go every year. Kind of what I mean. Challenge Cup's dipped in attendances because it's another showpiece event that people go to. So I'm not saying scrap it. I'm not against it. I enjoy going. I think it's a great city and it's a great stadium to watch rugby league in, actually.
Yeah.
This is promoting.
But
more
I just need to. They need to look at it and like, what is it for? And IMG wanted to get rid of it, didn't they?
They did.
or they recommended not having it because it was, like I said, another showpiece.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, it's time to look ahead to the Rhinos' next fixture, which is, of course, versus Hull FC. Changes to the side. Croft is back. Cam is back. So, who drops out? Duncan, who's...
Not even thought about this. Well, I have
who's... I mean, what a conundrum for...
The two forwards that are at risk, in my opinion... James Bentley and Sam Lasoni.
Agreed.
Purely because your balance of your bench with Watkins being on there covers a multitude of positions, as we've already discussed. Your two props on the bench are going to be, you'd imagine you're going to go the same. It'd be Holroyd and Cooper. Cooper can cover second row if needed, if Callum had to go on in the backs. You're then looking at Croft's definitely going to... Your 6 and 7 are going to be Connor and Croft again.
Yeah, and Cam.
I wouldn't
lose.
But I'll give you my reasoning.
And then Cam has to start 13. So your four props are Paliasia, Oledsky start,
Holroyd, Cooper bench.
Holroyd and Cooper on the bench. Watkins on the bench because of his versatility, which then kicks off... Well, I ain't got Lasoni or Bentley in there because Macca and Gannon start in the second row. If Ackers is back, that then kicks up. You've got...
I didn't think he was.
You've got 3 nines. You've got
my thoughts.
You've got 3 nines. I've said, for me, you can't drop Jack, so Jack could take a space on my bench. So then you're a toss-up between Jared and Ackers. Jared had his best game for me this season yesterday against Saints. So he's got big decisions, but he will... I've no doubt. Look, the players could have picked up Knox. We don't know. Does no one said anything about Hall?
I think he'll be back.
So you've got Hall or Edgell on the wing, and then I do think Croft comes straight back into halves. I don't think you can leave him out or entertain him on bench because I don't think, for me, he's a 6. Well, he's an half. And you don't carry a half on bench, so that'd be the way I would. Jack comes down to the bench, but he stays in that 17.
He stays there,
and then you toss up his Jared or Ackers at 9.
Producer Chris, is that enough time for you to?
I agree with the bench, apart from one thing. So I think it's Lasoni and Bentley who misses out.
Yeah,
this is my opinion. This is not what I think he'll do. I would start Jack in the halves and put Croft on the bench and bring him on after 20 minutes. Jack can then cover at 9. He'd been out with an injury. They often don't want to throw him straight back in.
Just give Croft an hour.
Yeah. And start Jack and give Jack some reward for playing well.
What about the opposite though? Croft coming off after an hour. Is it much of the muchness?
That's sorry to interrupt, but with Watkins on bench, I don't think he'll play Cam full 80 against Hull. That'd be my reckoning with him coming back from a long leg. I think we need to kind of manage his minutes a bit. If you're going to manage his minutes, Watkins has proved he's more than capable. We've got 3 capable 13s. We've got Watkins, we've got
KP.
Cam, and we've got KP. So between them 3, you've got people that can adequately fill the middle. Well, not adequately, like the class 13s.
Yeah.
I don't think, with what we've said about Bentley on the bench, yes, he adds a bit of versatility, but Cooper's had a better overall. he's got it's massive decisions across the board. I don't think. I think he'd look very, very silly. This is where we find out what Jack is. If he sees Jack as a half, I don't think Jack drops out of that. I don't think you can drop Jack out of the 17 because he's done very, very well the last 2 games.
That's kind of my thinking, really.
So then that were my thinking as well. But my thinking is he drops to 14, that 14 spot as the Aussies call it on bench, because he can cover 9 and halves. Then it is literally what you do at 9. It's a great problem to have.
Got all quality players coming out of his ears here.
But yeah, for me it's Jared or Ackers start, and if they don't start, they're not. One of them's not there.
To be honest, I totally not thought Ackers would back.
That's if Ackers is back.
But yeah, that's what I'd consider doing. Croft come on after a while.
And
but I don't know. I think that the Hall thing's not so much of a worry. It's either Hall or
the other.
Edgell, isn't it?
Well,
fine.
He put something on his Instagram today where a few of them have gone out and he had no boot on or anything like that.
So he's looking good.
Well, he did say he would try to play this weekend, didn't he?
So
predictions
against the FC, smash them.
Yeah, they're starting the downfall.
Smash them.
I said they've started amazingly.
What, smash them?
20 to 30 points.
They didn't look very good today.
30.
They didn't look good
Leeds
week
by
before.
30.
I think we might give them a hammering.
Leeds by
24.
And I'm saying Leeds by 22.
Yeah,
I've gone you there, haven't I?
He's gone.
You've gone full lot.
I just think they're on that downward curve that I always knew.
Look at me being the most positive.
What's really positive?
Just think they're on that downward curve and they're going to meet Saints and they're going to have a nice little loving
Relegation battle.
7-8.
Thanks to Chris, thanks to Duncan, thanks to everybody for watching and listening. We do have the Gary Hetherington podcast coming out on Friday the 9th of May. Please do subscribe to us on YouTube. Please do leave us a review on Spotify and iTunes. It just boosts us up, those podcast charts. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram for the ticket details for the mid-season review with Terry O'Connor and Yestin Harris. And we'll see you all for the whole review. Take care.